Hello again and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today I got a little technical problem. I think I had this last week too. Last week I talked to Mr. Chris McClernand from Saigon Kick about my favorite 90s album called Devil of the Details. And I did it on my, we did a video chat. And I tried to use my external microphone and it wouldn't connect. But I thought it was because I was using that streaming service for the first time and I just gave up and I just used the external mic of the camera, which is what I'm doing now. The mic of the camera instead of the external mic. And I tried it again just now and it wouldn't connect. I plug in the receiver to my phone and I plug in, I turn on the microphone, the external mic, and they just wouldn't connect. It just blinks red and it should go solid green. I hope to have that resolved or possibly buy a new mic so I don't have to yell. It's a little bit windy today. You might notice my hair is blowing. I think it might even blow my toupee off. It's always windy up here on the roof. But I think I can get through it. I have to stand closer to the camera so I don't have to yell much. Normally I'm standing way back here. But this time I will stand here, stand close to the mic so you don't get the full body experience of me. You just get to, I guess around here, around to the waist. So now that that's out of the way, today I'm going to talk about Rush, the debut album by Rush. Here it is right here with the nice pink, possibly even magenta, that color might be called, cover. I think that was a mistake. I think it wasn't supposed to be that color. It was supposed to be red, but there was some kind of error, and it was just kept pink. So I'm doing Rush today. This is in the CD, which stands for compact disc. A lot of people don't know that. I'm doing the CD today. I'm talking about Rush because I'm not a big Rush fan. I've only done one Rush episode. Didn't think I'd ever do another one. I did Moving Pictures a couple of years ago. And I bought that CD, Moving Pictures, this one, the first album, and Fly By Night, I think about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago, let's say. And I did Moving Pictures. And I thought, all right, that's it for Rush. But now, there was a big announcement last week that rocked the very core of the music world, and that was that Rush is coming back, minus drummer Neil, however you pronounce his name. Some say Peart, some say Peart. We'll go with Peart, because they say Stephen Pearcy, and it's the same spelling, P-E-A-R, so we'll say Neil Peart. He is not back as part of this big Rush tour because he died in 2020. And this came out of nowhere. Really amazing that Rush was able to keep it a secret. How many people were involved in planning this thing? There were no leaks, no rumors, no speculation, nothing. Just all of a sudden, boom, Rush said, hey, we're going to tour, kind of a tour. They're doing kind of like these mini residencies. And I'm strangely, I would even say shockingly, surprisingly excited about this announcement. I don't really dislike Rush. I just don't really care about Rush. Me as a Canadian, by the way, this is 2 out of 3 episodes that have been by Canadian bands. 2 episodes ago was fully completely by the Tragically Hip, who is far bigger in Canada than Rush, believe me. But I just thought, man, because I remember when Rush stopped playing in 2015 or 16, whatever it was, and then even more when Neil Peart died, when it was obvious that they were done. I thought, man, I should have seen Rush. You get a different perspective on things when, as you get older, or when people start to die, or for whatever reasons. And at the time, Rush played in Toronto all the time, and I lived there. I'm not going to see Rush. I don't care about Rush. I don't like Rush. And then when they're gone, you say, man, I should have seen Rush. So I thought, oh wow, this is pretty cool. I'm going to see Rush, and I don't care that Neil Peart is not going to take part of it. I'm not really into this. People love to say, oh, it's not Rush, it's a Rush tribute, or it's not Pantera or Kiss, or it's only 2 of the original members, or whatever. And what I can always point to is Iron Maiden in their current lineup. Well, let's say prior to Nico McBrain's retirement last year, Bruce Dickinson, Nico McBrain, Adrian Smith, Yannick Gers, 4 of the 6 of what is widely considered the classic era or lineup of Iron Maiden. They weren't original members, so I don't really care about original members. I care about the key members and the good members. And even more important, I think it depends on, for me, why isn't the guy there? If he died, in Neil Peart's case, well, obviously he's not coming back. It's Cliff Burton, anybody who died, John Bonham, if somebody dies you can't expect the band to stop playing. What I kind of don't like is when bands go through crap and they just, if the guy is not well enough to play, if the guy is just not interested in playing, I can accept that. But when it's for just garbage like fighting and crap like that, Mark Mendoza is not, that bothers me more. Mark Mendoza not being in this Twisted Sister reunion bothers me more than Neil Peart not being in Rush. And they got this woman, her name is Annika or Anita, I can't even remember her name. I'm very, very happy that they got a woman. Not in terms of being woke or anything like that. I just thought it's great that Rush is saying, we're going to get whoever we want. And because all the Rush fans were saying, I'm sure they should have got Mike Portnoy, Charlie Benante, Danny Carey, whoever. And they didn't. They said, we're going to get who we want, and that is this woman. So good for them, and also good for her. So I was very excited about this Rush announcement. Until today, shortly before I started taking this video, I saw ticket, because I guess in the other cities, tickets went on sale a couple days ago. As I'm recording this now, it's Monday, October 13th, I think. Tickets in Mexico, or for Mexico, don't go on sale until this week. I think, God, and it's so hard to buy tickets now. They have the pre-sale, I think on Wednesday, and then the artist pre-sale on Thursday, and then the general on sale on Friday. It's so stupid. But I was very, very excited to get Rush tickets, or to try to get Rush tickets. And I thought that the most expensive tickets would be around the $50 range, $50 US. I saw Paul McCartney last year. I think those tickets were around 40, maybe less than 40. When I saw Iron Maiden, I think, was that also last year? Yeah, it was last year. Those tickets were like 35 or something. And these are, some of the biggest acts in the world. It's Paul McCartney, for God's sake. So I thought Rush, would be around the same. And then I just saw today the lowest ticket price for Rush is almost $100. I think it's right around $90, $91, $92 US, something like that. That gives me serious pause to consider if I don't know if I want to spend that much to see Rush or anybody. At some point, for me, maybe you're rich, good for you, or maybe you just don't care about how you spend your money. I'm not poor, but I hope I'm not cheap either. Maybe I'm frugal, or just I don't see the value in spending money to go be entertained for a couple of hours. You wouldn't spend that much money to see a movie for 2 hours. Why would you spend that much to see a concert? That's maybe not the best comparison. But anyway, so my excitement for Rush lasted about a week. This was announced last Monday, and now today, Monday, when I saw the ticket prices, I'm going to have to really think over the next few days if I want to spend that kind of money on Rush. If I don't, I'm sure I'll regret it. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, man, that's ridiculous. That's kind of funny. The bigger the bands are, and the richer they are, and the less they need the money, the more expensive their ticket prices is. I don't like that, and I don't like to be party to that, I think is how you say it. So a little bit of my history with Rush. I talked about this probably when I did Moving Pictures a couple years ago. Was never a big fan. I bought Moving Pictures in '81 whenever it came out. Liked it. I still love the first side. I listened to it a couple days ago. First side is a classic. I would put that up there with just about any band's single side of any album. I love that first side of Moving Pictures. Second side, it's okay, but not as good as the first side. Until I had bought these couple of records, well, I had Moving Pictures in '81, but I never bought another Rush record in any format until I bought this debut album and Fly By Night a couple of years ago. Was just never into them. And man, listening to this, and I've listened to this record a couple times over the years since I bought it. I listened to it twice today, as I normally do. And man, I really, really like it. I think this is an excellent record, but I don't know anything about it. In Rush world, as I said, I'm not a Rush fan. I know what people think of Kiss records, and I know what people think of Motorhead records. I mean, the general reputation, what people think of, Black Sabbath and things like that, AC/DC, The Who. Rush, I really don't know. I know Moving Pictures is, I guess, considered like their signature album, or 2112, I think is how you say it. That one, or one of those two, or I don't know. But I don't know what happens in Rush circles, what Rush nerds think of this. Is this well received? Is it hated? It's obviously very, very different from what Rush would go on to be I don't know how long after that. I think Fly By Night was the second record, which is kind of in the vein of this. But after that was when they started to get a little bit more weird, not as straightforward hard rock, borderline metal. This album has some pretty metal moments, I think. Rush fans, I won't call you Rush nerds. No, I will call you Rush nerds. Rush nerds, tell me, what do you personally think about this album? And I like to encourage comments, but I really want to know, personally, what do you think about this? And in the big picture, how is this album viewed upon by Rush fans in the vast universe of Rush? Is it, because I think bands' first albums are usually either widely, hailed as their greatest, or they're dismissed as being, they were young and they didn't really, hadn't really found their sound yet or that style. I don't know where this fits in into one of those categories. I like a lot. I would listen to this any day over crap like Signals, Power Windows, Grace Under Pressure. Man, that era of Rush sucked. Remember what were the bad, New World Man and Subdivisions, I guess, was okay. That was from Signals. And The Big Money, terrible. That song sucks. That was garbage. This album for me is way better. But I don't know what you Rush nerds think. Please tell me in the comment section down below. I feel so dirty saying that. All right. So I'm gonna talk about this now. Of course, I did need notes, and I've got them right here in front of me, and not too much. There it is. So going through these track by track now. The first song is called "Finding My Way." I listen to my music almost exclusively with headphones. What I liked about this. It started in the left ear, and then it kind of faded in. It started in the left ear, and as the volume increased, it also faded around to the center, and then it filled it up. I thought that was very cool. I don't know if the original record did that, or if this was more of a during these when they put out these remasters. I don't know, but I like that, and it came into a very hard rock, borderline metal riff in Finding My Way. Part of this song is it's Geddy Lee singing ooh yeah, which I'm not sure if I sang that properly, but very reminiscent, both his voice and the style, just and I guess the words, very reminiscent of Robert Plant. I think especially in is it Rock and Roll, or what song is it? Ooh yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, and it's a good song. I like Finding My Way, pretty good. Next is Need Some Love. This song is only 220, 219, 222, something like that. Very short, very fast, kind of an up-tempo rock song. The solo is very metal. It's a real heavy metal guitar solo, I think. Next is called Take a Friend. Again, the guitar here is very hard rock. Again, borderline metal. I really like the during the choruses, they doubled Geddy Lee's vocals. I don't really like Geddy Lee's voice, as I think a lot of people don't. So maybe I wouldn't like it if it's doubled, but I thought it sounded pretty good, maybe when there's two of them. Maybe it didn't sound as shrill. And there the line in here, I guess it's in the chorus, take yourself a friend, whether woman or man, is totally woke. I don't know if they're suggesting something about GAY or something, but I thought that was a very woke lyric. Take yourself a friend, whether woman or man. And it's a good song. Next song is number 4. It's called Here Again. It's a little bit slower, kind of bluesy, and a great solo in this. Man, Alex Lifeson, when I was a teenager and a real, in the depths of heavy metal, when I hated Rush when they were putting out crap like all that synthesizer stuff, as I mentioned earlier, I thought Alex Lifeson, I don't know maybe when I was a kid I'd say Alex Lifeson sucks. But I just thought, man, this guy, I don't care about this guy at all as a guitarist. He plays, kind of new wave metal, new wave, kind of pop music, synthesizer music, or plays in that kind of band. I thought, this guy, I don't hear any guitar on these Rush records at that time anyway. Man, he was really good. And not that he was not good later, but I think the kind of music that Rush was playing in the maybe maybe through the 80s mostly, after Moving Pictures, didn't really showcase how good Alex Lifeson was. Because I didn't know Rush until Moving Pictures. Number 5 is What You're Doing. The opening lyric is, well, I see you standing there with your finger in the air. And that, both the lyric and the delivery of it, totally reminded me of a hair metal. Not a particular hair metal song, but I just thought, man, that's a very hair metal lyric. And then the lyrics, I didn't write anything else, only that one. Well, I see you standing there with your finger in the air. The rest of the lyrics are kind of in that same vein of this kind of, it brought to mind hair metal. And the riff of What You're Doing, very reminiscent for me of, there's a great band called Salty Dog, or there was a great band called Salty Dog who had a great record. I think they only had one proper record called Every Dog Has Its Day. I did an episode of that, maybe 4 years ago. And there's a song on there called Keep Me Down. The riff in What You're Doing very much reminded me of Keep Me Down by Salty Dog. Next is number 6, In the Mood. Now this is really the only song on this album that I'm familiar with. This was on the radio all the time. I don't know about where you live, but where I'm from in Toronto, this song was on the radio all the time. I thought it was kind of goofy at the time, although it was a rock song, unlike that other crap that I mentioned earlier. What a strange, and I should mention too, this album in general, lyrics are terrible. Neil Peart, after this album, he started writing the lyrics. Maybe save them. If they had continued with, I don't know if it was Geddy or Alex writing the lyrics, or both of them combined, the lyrics on this album are pretty bad. And In the Mood especially. It's just so weird hearing Geddy Lee macking. He's macking on a woman. Hey, baby, the hour is late. I feel I'm in the mood. Well, hey now, baby, said I like your style. Won't you come and talk to me for a little while? Ooh, you drive me crazy. Very un-Rush, or how Rush would become in subsequent albums. But I like In the Mood. It's catchy. It definitely stands out as being the catchiest song on this record. Maybe not the best, but it's catchy. Next is called Before and After. When I first listened to this, I thought this is kind of like a ballad. But then as I listened to the song, it was really only the intro that's somewhat ballad adjacent, kind of and it sounds cool, this acoustic guitar. Then it goes into like a full rock song. And I need to ask you Rush nerds again, does Rush have a ballad? As far as I know, no. Maybe that's why they don't attract too many women. I've heard that Rush concerts are sausage fests. I think everybody's aware of that. Did Rush ever have a legitimate ballad? I really don't know. I have a feeling no. And then the last song, Working Man. Now, first of all, the lyrics are atrocious. Just awful. Hearing Rush singing about something about an ice cold beer. I can't remember. I think it's in the second verse. I get myself an ice cold beer. It's terrible. In the opening lyric, I get up at 7, yeah. And I go to work at 9. They totally ripped that off from Mr. Brownstone by Guns N' Roses. I get up around 7, get out of bed around 9, and I don't worry about nothing, no, because worrying's a waste of my time. Rush totally stole from Mr. Brownstone, Guns N' Roses. But oh my God, Working Man, clearly my favorite song on this record. Clearly. Very Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath vibes in this. Real kind of, and I especially love the middle section from that. There's that that isolated bass, and then there's the musical section with the guitar solo, and it's kind of jammy. It's I don't know, a couple minutes long, 2 or 3 minutes long. To me, it sounds like I don't know. It doesn't sound like, but it kind of reminds me of Dazed and Confused, something like that. And there are a couple of songs on here. I don't think I mentioned them too much that are very Led Zeppelin-esque. But this one, I get Zeppelin and Black Sabbath. And I think that middle section I was just talking about, from after that bass section for the next couple of minutes there, that's maybe, I don't think Working Man is it's not quite my favorite Rush song, but that section might be my favorite Rush music part from what I know in their whole catalog, which is, for me, it's quite limited. So that's all for Rush, and I guess when I do the next episode of this, I want to talk about this album episode or series, I will fill everybody in. I'm sure you're all very interested to see if I end up going to see Rush. If I do end up deciding that those tickets are worth $90 US, again, you can't believe how much how expensive it is in Mexico. And that's the cheapest ticket. $90 US in Mexico is a lot of money. A lot of money. All right. So that is all. This is Rush, the debut album, 1974. Thank you for watching. See ya.